we're explaining the deprecation of the Kotlin Android extension's Gradle plugin. 1. This plugin, which offered convenient ways to access views in your Android layouts using synthetic properties, is no longer recommended. 2. Google deprecated it because it caused performance issues and added unnecessary complexity. 3. The main problem was that the plugin generated extra code behind the scenes, leading to larger APK sizes and slower startup times. 4. While synthetic properties were undeniably handy, letting you directly access views like write single quote myTextView.text = hello without findViewById calls, the performance cost became unsustainable. 5. Therefore, you should migrate away from this plugin in your projects. 6. The good news is that migrating is relatively straightforward. 7. The recommended alternative is to use view binding. 8. View binding generates binding classes for each of your XML layouts. 9. These classes provide direct access to all views, providing type safety and eliminating the need for findViewById. 10. To enable view binding, you need to add Android build features, view binding true, to your module level write single quote build.gradle write single quote file. 11. Once enabled, view binding will generate a binding class for each XML layout file. For a layout file named write single quote activity _ main.xml, write single quote comma, you'll get an activity main binding class. 12. You inflate your layout using the generated binding class, like this. Val binding = activity main binding.inflate layout inflator. 13. After inflation, you can directly access views through the binding object, for instance, write single quote binding .myTextView.text = hello. 14. This approach offers the same convenience as synthetic properties, but without the performance overhead. 15. Another alternative, if you're not ready to switch to view binding, is to explicitly use findViewById. 16. While more verbose, it's a perfectly valid and performant way to access views. 17. Remember, findViewById returns a nullable type, so you need to handle null checks appropriately. 18. Ultimately, removing the Kotlin Android extensions plugin and migrating to view binding is the best long-term solution. 19. It improves your app's performance and aligns with the recommended practices from Google. 20. While the initial migration might take some time, the benefits outweigh the cost. 21. Remember to update your dependencies and thoroughly test your application after making the changes. 22. By following these steps, you can easily remove the outdated plugin and improve your Android development workflow.